All right, we are live. How's it going, everybody? Episode 3, let's go. And we haven't missed a week yet. Are you impressed with us? Are you impressed? We're killing it. Season 3, we're turning in a new leaf here. And
there will be 52 episodes this year. There will be 52 episodes this year.
Oh, man. So it was a wild weekend in football. There's been some good hockey going on. We're going to get into all of it. But we're going to start, of course, with the matchups that are coming up this weekend. We've got Tampa Bay and Green Bay, both Bays. Wow, that's going to be interesting.
But let's be honest, you'd rather live in Tampa Bay than Green Bay. Let's be real.
No doubt about that. Dodge that bullet. I applied for a job in Green Bay. Yeah. So they're in the NFC Championship game. In the AFC side, the Chiefs are going to be going up against, hopefully, with Patrick Mahomes.
I hope so, man. That'll be so bad if it's Chad Henne.
The Josh Allen-led Bills. Anything is possible. That's
Dude,
what they keep
you know
saying.
what? He came in and he played good football.
But is he going to do that again?
No. But he did everything they needed him to do.
He did what he needed. He did what a backup is supposed to do. So let's start with that game. We saw Kansas City come in and hold off the Cleveland Browns with Patrick Mahomes going out with an injury, pretty nasty concussion from what it looked like, and Chad Henne being able to come in with that veteran presence to keep things where it is. MJ, what was your impression of him and the Chiefs' resolve to hold on there?
I think the Chiefs got very, 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 very lucky. First off, that call that was blown at the end of the first half, completely a momentum swing of the game.
Yes.
The Browns picked apart the Chiefs right down the field. How do you miss that call? Every official was looking at that corner of the field. How do you miss the clear helmet to helmet? He led with his helmet. He didn't try to lead with the shoulder. It was helmet to helmet. Nope. That's a fumble out the goal line.
As long as it's close to the goal line, they're just like free for all.
No. It did. I don't know how that was Higgins, right? Or was that Donovan?
Yeah,
that was Higgins.
Yeah, I think it was Higgins.
Yeah, I don't know how he got back up after that.
No, it was like direct, top of the head to the side of the head.
That was like neck stem.
Oh, that's the thing that they fine everyone for and scream all year long.
James Harrison would have been kicked out of the league.
Gosh, they'd have threw him out right there. They literally say, this is what we're looking for. This is the type of football we don't want to play. And you let it happen in probably one of your most televised games. And you can't review it. Are you kidding me?
And then you're like, shouldn't reach over the goal line. It's what you get. It's like he would have been fine if he would have got hit and not concussed.
They would have got the ball back on the 1-inch line with four downs to try to get it. I think that completely swung the game, but credit where credit is due. Chad Henne, man, that was fantastic. That's a journeyman that I expected him to completely crumble when he came in. Playing that week 17 game when they sat Mahomes is starting to look more intelligent. I mean, because you could tell even before the head injury with the toe, Patrick Mahomes was in pain, man. He was
hurting, man. He was absolutely.
Some of the throws he missed are just that's not him.
No, I mean a guy with that's why I am so pumped for this AFC Championship game, because it is two quarterbacks that have been lighting it up. Both are mobile. They both can throw on the run. They're both accurate. They're both good, high football IQs. It's going to be so fun to see these two literally duel it out. I mean, this might be the best two championship game quarterback matches we've seen in a long time. Brady and Rodgers, the old men that are amazing going at it. And then you got the two young stars going. It's perfect. It's perfect.
I mean,
Justin, what did you see
on Instagram?
No, what did you do?
Oh, this was a good one. It was about Tom Brady. No, so it's nothing bad. Oh, NFC Championship game appearances since 1997. Tom Brady 1. Dallas Cowboys 0. Years in the NFC since 1997. Years 1. Tom Brady. Dallas Cowboys 24.
That's such a good and true stat. The Buffalo Bills, of course, making it into the game by beating Baltimore. I stand by what I've said. Lamar Jackson, that playoff win that he got was all by his legs. I don't believe he's a playoff caliber throwing quarterback yet. I don't see it. I don't believe in it. And he proved it again in that game against Buffalo. So,
Justin, what do you think? I think Buffalo. I don't know yet.
I'm so confused by Buffalo because they had like a very
Yes.
unimpressive defensive game against the Colts in the first week of the
It was
playoffs,
so
and then
bad.
killed it on defense in the second week, and then couldn't score worth it.
Yeah, they made
Damn.
the Ravens release Mark Ingram.
Yeah, made the Ravens release Mark Ingram, and then also put up 17. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know, man. But the one thing I did pull from last week, the Browns are a legit team now. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think they played the Chiefs as tough as you could have played them.
Yep.
Baker just never got the ball back. I mean, that's what I think it really came down to, because
Mhm.
they had the momentum. But rolling into next year with the Browns, I think they need to get rid of OBJ. They were 8-3 without him, and he was.
I was gonna say he's a bit of a distraction, and
Well,
he's
you got to
hurt,
force
and
it to him, man.
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't think that's the Browns are better receiver. I mean, Landry is obviously the number one on that team. Not saying he's like a top tier receiver, but
Right.
they're spread the ball, like receive by committee. They're crushing it.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, where does OBJ land then? If you try to like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh dear God, if he comes to the Eagles, we
Like-
might have a chance.
I'd actually be happy.
I'd be so happy, dude.
Yeah, it's funny when you're like, they're better without him. Also, I want him on my team really bad. Like, he's a complete idiot, and also would immediately be the best player on the Eagles.
Oh yeah. It wouldn't even be questionable. But
Yeah.
He'll break all your kicking nets, though.
That's fine.
whatever.
Jake Elliott breaks all of them too because he probably misses wide. He can't kick from 25 and in to save his life.
Now, real quick, guys, going to the other side. What happened to the Saints? What
You know
happened?
what? I honestly think, and this might just be the easy answer, but I really do think Father Time caught up to Drew Brees. I think in the sense of like, that man sustained so much pain this season, injury-wise. Like, oh my God, the stuff he was playing through. When his wife released that like Instagram post of like, this is actually what my husband was, I was like, oh my God, how did he show up for work at all, let alone play in a game like that? I mean, I just think
And if
he
you
did
wanna
everything
know-
he could.
What he had 11. I only had 8. If you want to know what 8 to 11 fractured ribs in a collapsed lung feels like,
Trying to
it doesn't
breathe.
feel awesome. Yeah. So I it's crazy that he even made it back when he did.
Yeah. He did everything he possibly could. I mean, since he came to New Orleans, he put that city, that team on his back. And I think such an impressive career, obviously, down there. It's a shame he couldn't get another ring. But I mean, he's had an amazing career,
Well,
and he
yeah,
left it out on the field
That's because the NFL was out to make sure he didn't get another ring.
a couple
I mean, the
times.
past-
Yes,
the past
not
couple
this, not
years.
this time, not
The
this
NFL
time,
really didn't want him to get another.
not this time though, not this time.
Oh man, it was so bad. But yeah, man, he looked. I know he was hurt. I know Michael Thomas. Now we're learning more that he was hurt. But the power wasn't there. Even all this year, the power wasn't there.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
Kamara
Brady-
had a crazy bounce back year, but other than that, no one else was really.
Yeah. I mean, but if you compare him to the quarterbacks his age, I mean, Tom Brady's still sailing the ball down the field. Phillip Rivers is still sailing the ball down the field. I honestly think, and I'm glad he stepped away now and didn't try to come back and run it back.
He hasn't
Yeah.
done it officially yet, but I'm
It's
sure.
happening.
I'm sure he will.
If Rivers already
better.
walked away, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, also cool moment if you didn't see it, him and Brady coming out on the field well after everybody had already left the stadium just to like hang out and give him a hug and just kind of like throw the ball with his kids. Like that was a really cool moment of just like, he's like, hey man, you're still like an absolutely unbelievable quarterback. So, tip my cap to you.
But you know what though, man? That's the Bucks though. The Bucks, they have an elite defense for 3 games and then it disappears. And then they had such a Devin White. Are you kidding me?
He had a
everywhere.
game.
He was
He did.
He had
everywhere.
a game.
Did you see the stat that came out about him? He did not miss a single defensive snap all year. Like not to rest. or
Yeah.
anything.
Well, also like Malcolm Jenkins went like 2 or 3 years with the Eagles, and naturally we just let him go because he wanted some money. But like, we were like, nah, it's fine. We'll just
Our salary cap is a mess. Anyway.
yeah. Anyway, honestly, they couldn't have paid him probably, but that's fine.
Yeah, our salary. Also, Green Bay, they look really good. Aaron Rodgers
and
Dude,
Devontae
every
Adams.
quarterback. I mean, Brady managed that game. Let's be honest. But
Yeah, he wasn't
he did
crazy
everything.
good.
But he did everything right.
Right.
Like you don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, and I mean he's so unfazed by the playoffs anymore. It's literally just another game for that man.
Yeah, but I mean, if we look at like you said, the quarterbacks, the last four we're left with, the way they're playing right now, every one of them is that
they're all at the top of their game right now.
I can say this: the four quarterbacks we're left right now are four of the top 5 best quarterbacks.
Yeah,
in football, period. Right,
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Josh Allen's. Patrick Mahomes was Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Rodgers had. I can't believe
he's MVP.
He's MVP for sure.
I can't believe we're saying he's having a bounce back year after going 13-3 last year and throwing 4 interceptions. But anyway,
yeah, he couldn't believe it either. When he was on Pat McAfee, he was just like, "Yeah, I'm on that bounce back year."
yeah. And then Brady throws 40 touchdowns, and then like I said, Josh Allen's progression this year. Those are the four the top in no particular order. I mean, Mahomes is probably still number 1.
Also, Brady doesn't even look as old. He is so fit and
he looks almost better than recent years.
Then dude, if you look at his picture when he was drafted, he's got a little bit of chub on him. His hair is all disheveled. He's really pale, and now he's just nice clean cut. He's like ripped.
Now he's the type of guy. If you saw him walk out of your bedroom in the morning, you'd be like, "All right, I can't even be mad about that." Like, what am I going to say?
Because he got a good night's rest, Kevin. What is wrong with you?
Didn't imply anything there, Kev.
Because he slept well. I have a nice bed.
Just throwing long bombs. Anywho.
Yeah. No, but I mean, Green Bay, I think, is to me, has been the most impressive out of the whole playoffs. I mean, they did get the easiest road when you play Chicago and Los Angeles. I mean, a hurt Jared Goff and Mitch Trubisky.
And Donald was in a lot of pain, dude.
Yeah, Donald hurt.
What a freaking injury. Ripped cartilage or whatever on his ribs. Oh.
I don't even want to imagine what that feels like.
But Devontae Adams, best receiver in the league by far. It's ridiculous.
Yes, 1,000% agree on that.
And I don't know who Tampa Bay has that's going to cover him.
It's going to be a shootout, man. That game is bound to be a shootout. It's going to be Godwin, Brown.
But it also has the potential, man, that like the start of the game, one team could go on 2 good drives and one team could go on 2 bad drives, and then it's a complete blowout in one direction.
Right.
Like I think whoever gets up, if you get up 14 in that game, I think you're running away with it.
Yeah. I think Buccaneers, I was just looking, Buccaneers beat the Packers 38-10 earlier this year.
Yeah.
So.
But again, that was one of the games where the Bucs defense showed up out of nowhere.
Right.
So,
yeah.
It's going to depend who shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
So what are your picks in these games, boys? I'll start it off. I'm going Buffalo in the AFC title game. I'm riding the Bills wagon the whole way, man. I think that this team from the beginning of the season, I mean, we've seen it the last couple of years, they have been building a franchise there to compete for a Lombardi trophy. And I think this year is the year that they get there and win it. They're my Super Bowl pick right now. I think that this team is just a true team of destiny. And I think they're going to get there and finally give one of the best fan bases in football what they've been waiting for such a long time.
Kev, let me look at my betting app because it is now legal in the beautiful state of Virginia. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Pretty upset about that.
Oh, real quick.
I'm still offshore.
I just want to do a recap last week. I did a same game parlay for the which game was it? It was the Chiefs. Was it the Chiefs game?
Well, Flyers are up 2-0, by the way, Justin.
Whatever game was, it was it was Mahomes. Yeah. I took the under on both Mahomes and Baker's passing. I took the over with Travis Kelce. I had Jarvis Landry and Kareem Hunt both scoring a touchdown. And I took Kareem Hunt to rush for over 32.5 yards. Do you know how many yards he rushed for?
32?
32. My $10 same game parlay would have paid $755. I missed it by half a yard.
By half a yard.
I literally was at the end of the game. I was like, well, there goes my actual parlay. And I was like, wait a minute, my same game might be close. And I'm like going through, I'm like, and then I see 32 and I'm like, like come on.
Miss how do they do
mile. Don't Justin, who are you taking? Buffalo or Kansas City?
If Mahomes, he's clearing like concussion protocol, it sounds like. There's an article here that today he took the majority of snaps in practice. So if Mahomes plays, I'm going Kansas City, and I'll take the -3 as well. I'll probably do Kansas City by 6.
I'm gonna go.
I have Bills even if Mahomes plays.
I'm gonna go Bills +3. I think Buffalo
Bills
might
+3 might be the safest bet, honestly, though.
But I think the Bills might have the idea that if we double team Kelsey and we double team, why am I drawing a blank on his name?
Tyreek Hill.
Hill, that that might slow them down a little bit. I think the defense is good enough for the Bills.
I think it is too, but it's like Tampa Bay. Who's going to show up?
Yeah, but I don't think the Chiefs' defense is good enough to stop the Bills.
Nope.
No.
They won their Super Bowl on offense alone. So
wait, hold on. Let me look here. Let's go same game parlay. What are they saying for Stephon Diggs? I know he's going to score. I don't need to know that. Stephon Diggs. Wow, I thought that would be higher. The over-under for Stephon Diggs is 93.5 yards. I think he has a much bigger game. Dude, I think he's going to go $120 to $130.
He could, but that's a tougher bet, I think. In the NFC Championship game, I am rolling with Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers is just unstoppable right now. And if it's a shootout, which I think it's going to be, I think they have the best attack with Rodgers and Adams. I mean, it's just that guy. I mean, Tom Brady, like you said, he's still playing good football, but he's also not gunning the ball as well as Rodgers is. So I think Rodgers has more in his arsenal at this point in his career, and I think it's going to be Green Bay, Buffalo in the Super Bowl. That's a cold Super Bowl.
Go ahead, Justin. I don't know yet.
They should play it at Lambeau.
It's Green Bay -3.5, so I'll probably go Buccaneers +3.5, but pick Green Bay to win by a field goal. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's just something different about how I know it's Brady. I know it's the playoffs. They finally look like they got their run game together last game as well. I think both Fournette and Ronald Jones ran for like a decent amount of yards.
Yeah.
But I think the Packers, they have it all on offense. Aaron Jones is a great running back. Devontae Adams, I don't know who's covering him. And Aaron Rodgers, this whole season has been throwing just freaking beautiful arc. Every time I see him throw a deep ball, I'm like, oh, that's a touchdown. Like, touchdown for sure. Every time that I saw Wentz and/or Hurts and/or anyone throw a long ball for the Eagles this year, I'm like, please just swat it away. Like, our receiver could just get in a position to play defense. It would be great. But yeah, I mean, Rodgers is on another level. It's hard to go against Brady, but I'll pick the Packers. Tampa Bay +3.5, though.
God's nephew still playing for Tampa Bay, so I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
I'm
going to take them outright.
I might take Green Bay outright, Tampa Bay +3.5. Hedge that. I win either way.
Interesting. So then,
all
right. So let's give. So like, all right. So just pre-predictions here. So I have Buffalo versus Green Bay in the Super Bowl. I would take Buffalo in that game. Who would you take in your Super Bowl?
I think Buffalo's winning it all, so I'm taking Buffalo over Kansas City. But I still think Tampa Bay gets to the Super Bowl. I just think I hate to be this guy, but I think the NFL is going to make that happen. Tom Brady in Tampa Bay at home. I don't see how that does. If it comes down to a close call, expect a blown close call.
Whoops.
I don't know, man. That ref ignored Tom's high five.
That was great. He like what the I don't know why was he even it was a weird thing to do. Like put his hand up and he's like all right. Mine will be Green Bay and Kansas City. I think Kansas City repeats. I think it would be like a shootout, but I think Kansas City repeats in that one.
And that would be further proof that anyone that leaves Philly does better.
Exactly. Can't wait for Doug's next job.
He's gonna go like 14-2 and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, when he takes the Vikings to the Super Bowl.
Yes, honestly.
But yeah. Good stuff. So what else do we have?
NHL. We're going to talk about how it looks so far early on in the season here. If you go check out the standings, boys, each division has had some
the standings.
Each division has had some really interesting surprises early on. We're going to start here in the Central, though. The Lightning, as far as points go, there's a 5-way tie currently at 4 points between the Lightning, Hurricanes, Predators, Panthers, and Red Wings. And then the Blue Jackets, Blackhawks, and the Stars have not played a game yet because of COVID. They had so many players test positive, like 20-something.
What's going on with Dallas? Did they just
give up? Nah.
They're like, yeah.
Count us out.
Last year was
so tired. Yeah, they're so tired that they got all the way to the Cup last year. But what stands out, I mean, obviously the Lightning have been playing really good hockey. And just the fact that the Hurricanes they're still going to be, I think those are the 1-2 teams in this. From watching all of Detroit's games, I got to tell you, Bobby Ryan, who is currently the leading goal scorer in the NHL, which is kind of hilarious, has had an incredible start to his Red Wing career. And he's really been bolstering this team to some really close games and ends up, 2 wins, 2 losses, but a couple of overtimes. So 4 points for the Wings. I think Detroit is right in the thick of things. And I think they already look like a much different team than last year. So no matter where
Kev, are we just going to keep splitting each series? Like, come on.
Well,
that's not a bad.
Yeah, but that's also a good point. I mean, it's a 56 game season or something like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a very important regular season. But yeah, that's what else did you guys see in the Central? I mean, those were kind of my standouts so far.
It's such a weak division. It's insane. Like, I was actually looking the other day. We have our fantasy hockey league, and I have Vasilevsky already, but I was like, I might try to get another Central goalie just because the teams are so bad. Like,
get Grice or Bernier.
Yeah. I was like, if I can get a guy that's going to play the Blackhawks, Blue Jackets, Panthers, like 8 times this year.
The Blackhawks.
They're rough, man. The Blackhawks are rough. That's who Detroit plays Friday.
It's just their goaltending, really. But yeah, no, like
they've given out 5 goals every game.
Vasilevsky's been nice for the Lightning, obviously. Red Wings, I mean, the thing with the Red Wings that's been weird is they're winning games without shooting like ever. You know?
The last 2 they've had.
That's how the Flyers won their last playoff series.
That's how the Flyers have won their 3 games this year.
Yeah, I was going to say that's Philadelphia.
I was watching that game in Ocean City, and the goal difference, like shots on goal, I think the Flyers had I think it was 15, and I forget who they were playing was over 40. It wasn't even close.
No, that's how all of our games have been.
But they still won.
Yeah, we were losing 14-3 in shots tonight after the first period, and we're winning 2-0.
Well, Detroit's goaltending has been just weirdly great.
Yeah, it's been
so I think that's been really helpful.
East Division. Okay, Flyers will still screw it up. I'm calling it right now.
I'm still calling the Flyers to win this division only because they're still finding ways to win games early on. I think
they're about as hurt as you can be right now.
Yeah. They need to shake the rust off. I think Carter Hart needs to be a lot better with the puck. I think he's made some really bonehead moves so far this season. But they also have a capable second guy in Elliott to come in when he needs to.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize the Flyers spanked the Pens the first 2 games.
Yeah. That's one of my big things here is, Mike Sullivan, for some reason, is on the hot seat. So if a bad Penguin season ends up unfolding here, you could see him looking for a new job. But the Devils Blackwood is one of the most incredible stories as far as goaltending right now. That dude, anybody with the initials MB that plays in New Jersey apparently is a star. So he's been unbelievable. And then the Caps are looking well.
Also, your fantasy goalie Varlamov is letting in 0 goals ever.
I picked him up off the waivers. I was like, I just need another goalie. And he ends up being number 1 currently of all the goaltenders.
Yeah, they've given up 5 goals in 3-4 games this season.
How does fantasy hockey work? Like, how often do you have to set your lineup every day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you set it for the week.
I don't have.
I set every single day on Sunday night, and then like not enough players play where your whole lineup's full anyway. So you're not.
And I'll just check it each day to see if someone's hurt. Other than that, I don't change it. But we do it based on stat. We do it based on stat categories, which is a lot of fun. Like it's all just kind of like a rotating thing. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, and other than that, I mean, the Sabres are really disappointing early, and I said that they had a chance here to really actually contend this year. But like you said, Justin, that goaltending is still not good, and it's really hurting Buffalo. What else did you see from your division, the East?
Other than the Fly guys being beastie, let me see.
In a weird way,
Penguins' goaltending situation's a little janky right now. When they got rid of Matt, got rid of Murray. That's a little bit of a weird situation there.
Kevin, I just looked at the Red Wings. I know it's only 4 games in, but our goal differential is only -1.
Yeah, and look at the Blackhawks. Blackhawks is -11.
It's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
It's not terrible, but honestly, even the East.
I've been enjoying watching.
The East has been slightly unimpressive as well, though.
Oh, Penguins. Oh, wait. Boston Gold. Did they just tie it? They tied it.
Probably.
It's down 2-2.
But yeah, East has been kind of unimpressive, honestly, too. Like, there hasn't been anyone that's really stuck out, I don't think, to me.
Ooh, I wonder if I can click on this game and watch it.
Boston.
Don't click. It's going to start ripping through our earbuds.
It was 2-0, and now at the beginning of the third, it's 2-2. Philadelphia let up 2 unanswered. Oh, what a gross goal by Carter Hart. Just let it slip right through.
Wow, the Golden Knights are being the Golden Knights.
Yeah, dude, that's the next division. The West, dude, the Golden Knights are really showing up. And also, shout out to those amazing golden third jerseys that they have. They're really cool. They got 8 points so far. I mean, undefeated, just incredible. 9 goal differential. The Minnesota Wild are looking good. Parise is playing well. The Avalanche starting off a little slower than normal. The Ducks are a travesty, and so are the Kings and Coyotes. We knew this.
Do you know what I can tell you about the Golden Knights, Kev? They all carry their bags into the hockey rink. They don't use wheels on their bags. They all carry them into the hockey rink. If you can't carry a bag, so maybe you shouldn't play hockey.
Yeah, Justin, I know you don't watch Letterkenny, but you'd appreciate that in the new
season.
No,
dude, it's so they get so angry they can't focus on the conversation.
Yeah, they like
carry a bag.
Yeah, these new hockey players are standing there just dragging their bag, and they're talking about the game, and he's like, if you can't carry your bag, don't play hockey. He's just trying to talk to him.
And they're getting
He's like, you know what? I'll carry it.
I had the jankiest bag. Mine was like just tearing at the seams, basically. It was horrible.
But you carried it because you're a hockey player. Yeah, he literally was like, you know what, kid? I'll carry it for you. He just grabbed it.
You'd pick it up, you'd swing it over your shoulder, and your skate would jab right into your kidney, and you're like, it's going to be a long walk to the car.
I'm bleeding. Yeah. But yeah, the Golden Knights are the story of the West. What do you got there, Justin?
I mean, yeah, Golden Knights. I mean, the Avs haven't played enough games for me to really be worried about them yet. They're 2-1. They've only played 3. The Sharks, I was watching them last night. Brent Burns was the only player on their team.
Dude, that poor guy. And Patty Marleau is just so old.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, Golden Knights are ridiculous. They're probably gonna be out of the West.
When I was watching the Toronto game last night or 2 nights ago, whenever it was, against Edmonton, they said a stat that there are 3 players left in the NHL that played in the old Toronto arena, and it's Patrick Marleau, Joe Thornton, and I cannot for the life of me remember the third one. But yeah, Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau. And then I looked up, I was like, oh, Joe Thornton, yeah, he's been around a while. Drafted in 97. Still playing ice hockey. Like, yeah. I don't understand how hockey players can do that.
Yeah,
that
weird,
blows my mind.
Longevity of their careers.
It's because he has to play that long to get his contract.
I was going to say, honestly, it's because they're making like a couple million a year.
$15 million contract over 10 years. He has to play that long.
But I mean, like I read that amazing article when Chris Chelios was still going of like when he was 46 years old and why he looked like he was in the best shape of his life. He's like, I have like 5 different trainers that are like focused on all different parts of me so that I can actually physically be at a point where I can play with these like 20 some year olds.
I wonder which trainer was responsible for.
Right.
Now and the North Division.
And the Canada Division.
All right, dude, real quick. I just pulled this up. In Joe Thornton's career, he has played 23. No. Okay, it's on mute.
No.
He has played 23 seasons. He has made $110 million. There are NBA players that in 4 years will eclipse that by $100 million.
And here's the crazy part. Joe Thornton's like he's like a future Hall of Famer. Like he's really good.
Yeah, it's not
his signing bonus, his rookie years, like his first 3 years in the league, were 92,000, 92,000, and 92,000.
Well, that is also the 90s, but yeah, I see your point.
Oh my gosh, dude, he's
this Canadian division.
23. Hold on, I need to do this now. Hold on. Let me think of somebody young. Okay, yeah. This is my favorite thing to do because I don't do a lot during the day. Hold on. Anthony Davis, nice. Spot rec. Kevin, you work at a school. Be quiet.
What?
Okay. All right. Here we go. Here, just for example, Anthony Davis has played 9 seasons, and has made $152 million. Not 23, 9. And by the end of his 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th season, he will have made $309 million.
It's kind of a shame when you think about it.
It's still bad. How are hockey players still not getting paid? What are we doing?
Money in it.
Yeah, there is no money in it. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's ESPN's fault. Anyway, the Canada division has been so much fun. And as much as these divisions are a little weird, I think this is something that should stick because seeing all these Canadian teams go at it constantly is so fun. The Maple Leafs Oilers games are a ton of fun. McDavid and Matthews, teams that just don't like each other. You get to see all these Canadian rivalries really start to stand out. But dude, the story, other than this one, out of this division is the Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens look incredible. Like Big Cat was saying the other day, he's like, I'm a little worried at how real the Canadiens actually might be. He's like, this is very interesting. He's like, I think I'm just going to keep betting for Montreal, which I did not think I was going to do. But I felt the same way. All these parlays I've been doing, like just money line parlays, I'm like, God, I think I should bet Montreal. And they're still like in the plus side of things, but they're winning the games. So they're my team right now. That's, I think, is going to win that division if things stay the way they are. But Toronto, who is the best on paper, is still at the top but they have 5 games played. And, but yeah, what do you think, Justin?
Their goaltending's been trash. Frederik Andersen is making me so
you
mad.
would know. You got both of them.
But I mean, no, Frederik Andersen, their backup's been good, but Frederik Andersen's not been good. They're still finding ways to win. They didn't win last night, lost to the Oilers. Which the Oilers have been weird. I mean, they got swept by goaltending. They got swept by the Canadiens, and then they crushed the Maple Leafs. So I don't know.
They have goaltending issues as well. Because you look at the Oilers and you look at the Leafs. I mean, dude, Draisaitl and McDavid for the Oilers. That's like probably the best 1-2 punch in hockey. But their goaltending is just trash. Nurse is great. You know, they have some really Bear. They got some good players.
Yeah, the Leafs have just been, I think Tavares. He's one of my favorites. The fact that you have a Tavares on the second line.
Oh yeah,
that's huge. That's literal starting. That's a first line center for any other team.
Yeah, that's such depth. And I mean the Senators. I mean they're 1-1, and they have that one overtime loss. But don't sleep on them either because they've looked pretty good in all the games they've played. You can tell that all those offseason moves that they made in Ottawa have really turned out well for them. So Canucks are good. Like I'm looking at this division as probably the best in hockey, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's one that I don't think I'll ever bet because I don't know.
It's too hard.
Night to night.
Any given night, the Canucks could beat the Canadiens. The Jets could beat the Oilers.
And there's no rhyme or reason for amount of goals scored. Like over under on goals. That's normally a pretty gimme category, but I've been getting. I haven't bet for like a week here because I'm just so frustrated with it.
Yeah.
Or you're waiting to get paid. One of the two.
No, I got tired of football, honestly. I didn't even bet it last week.
Well, I
Same.
just said
I was just betting hockey.
Virginia waits until college football's over and there's 2 weeks left the NFL. Let's give them the right to bet now.
Yeah. I was like, there's not enough games to parlay, and there's not enough.
Betting hockey,
single
I got to
games
tell
I
you,
like.
has been a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
It's really fun to throw some of those parlays together. But yeah, it's been a really fun season so far. Looking forward to seeing it continue. Also, shout out to Jacob Voracek for telling a reporter how he truly felt. You know, like, oh my God, dude, that was quite the press conference of him just like, that's the same F in this, you know, that you're going to write anyway. And he called the guy, what, a weasel?
Yeah.
Called the reporter a weasel? I was like, well.
And it was after a win.
Like,
It was after back-to-back wins. He was just
Yeah.
like, I don't like you.
Well, and as soon as that reporter started, it was great because you just saw him go, he's like, I have
Yeah.
to answer this guy. It's so bad. Yeah, he did not like it. But that's the difference between hockey players and everybody else. Hockey players can win a game and be like, yeah, I'm going to light you up pretty hard right now.
I'm sure he got fined. There's no way he didn't, but
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we got so far, boys. Some football this weekend, continuing hockey. MJ, Red Wings Blackhawks rivalry renewed tomorrow. We're going to whoop them in Chicago. Let's go Detroit. Go Wings.
Wait. You said renewed rivalry and they're minus 11 goal differential.
It was a big rivalry back in the day.
Okay. That'd be like last year, the Blackhawks going, oh, we're renewing the rivalry with the Red
Original
Wings.
six rivalry, man. Anyway, last things last. Justin, go.
Sanheim
he
scored
actually
it
has
3-2.
Yes, he
Oh, they
did.
scored?
But
Sanheim.
no, so what we were talking about before the cast here, Brooklyn Nets, I mean, when Kyrie was out, Harden and Durant were having games. They were putting up great numbers. Also, they're giving up an insane amount of points on defense. Kyrie comes back again, 130. What did they put up? 136. That's nothing.
Yeah, 136, and they lost.
Yeah, and they lost
To the worst offensive team in basketball.
That's going to be the issue. They let up the past few games: 147 to the Cavs, 123 to the Bucks, which they won by 2, 115 to the Magic, 109 to the Knicks.
Well,
Like they're
and what's
letting
his-
up.
What's his
So
name for the
much.
Cavs went off.
Sexton.
Oh, Colin
Yeah,
Sexton, yeah.
Sexy.
Oh my God.
But yeah, like the Nets are giving up so many. They've had so many games where they've given up over 120, and that's just you can't.
Because you.
It can't be an average.
To play defense at some point.
It's insane. It's
You
like
have to-
Really? In
defense.
professional basketball, you have to play defense.
You have
The
to play
thing is-
defense.
you don't.
Every
you
team
don't
that's won a
really-
title in the past couple of years has had a lockdown defender on their
Absolutely.
team. Klay Thompson,
Absolutely.
Klay Thompson and Draymond Green play amazing defense for the Warriors. So did Andre Iguodala. Then you have with the Raptors. I mean, Kawhi was playing insane defense. Siakam, Pascal Siakam, and then the Lakers. Anthony Davis was playing defense all the time. And then when LeBron turned it on, man, somebody needs to play defense. Like, I'm
And that's,
sorry.
yeah. And what happens is, like, in the regular season, it doesn't matter much. And the thing is, we saw this with Houston, like, every year that Harden's been on their team.
Yeah.
Like, they put up numbers. They're going to be top 4 in the West every year when Harden's on their team, and then lose in the second round of the playoffs to someone. And it's going to be the same thing with Brooklyn. I think you can win in the regular season. You can actually probably win a playoff series if they get like the top, in the top 3 seed and they're playing in Indiana or something.
I don't even
like
think
that.
they're going to get a top 3 seed, man.
The thing is they score so much though, but I'm looking at their points against their scoring defense, and Brooklyn is 25th in scoring defense. So the people that are worse than them at defense, Sacramento sucks. Washington, Chicago sucks. Minnesota sucks. Portland is kind of like a very similar team to the recent Houston teams,
You
where
know
they
who's not
go
on
on
the list. The 3-11 Detroit Pistons.
Pistons, they're right above Brooklyn. They're 24th.
Oh,
So the
yeah.
Pistons have a better scoring defense. And then you look at the top, and it's weirdly the Knicks are number 1 in defense this year. But then Lakers, team that could win a championship, Utah, Dallas, Clippers, Brooklyn's, I think they're going to be a second round out, probably. They're going to be really exciting to watch offensively, and they're not going to stop anyone.
Yeah, how does Mike D'Antoni keep getting jobs? I'm sorry, like you know what you're getting. You're not getting a title. You're not making a title run. Like I guess they win enough games that right now you're not selling seats. So why does he keep getting work? And I'll never understand that.
One thing that I think there is interesting to think about, one team that could stop them, Sixers.
Yeah.
Like they're built to stop them.
Because you guys can slow the game down so much that they won't get enough possessions.
They can score just enough on offense, and Ben Simmons is an elite perimeter defender. Embiid can bully anyone that they have big down low now.
It's because they got rid of everyone.
They got rid of Jared Allen. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess.
So, yeah, I completely agree with every take you have there. Yeah. I'm not.
So they traded the Nets. 385 picks to lose in the second round. That's awesome.
Well, like Shaq said, if they don't win a title this year, it was a complete bust.
Oh, for sure.
And he's right. You can't keep not making the finals as James Harden. I'm sorry. No.
And when you look at teams like, yeah, the big three in Miami was big, but would you
Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade played defense.
And I take but if you're saying top 10 player, I don't think we ever considered Bosh, even in those years, top 10.
No, he was a top 10 when he was with Toronto because he's all they had. But no, not with Miami.
But Kyrie's like an elite scorer. James Harden and Durant are probably two of the top 4 players in the NBA right now.
Yeah,
and they have to win.
Yes, it's you mortgaged your future. The Lakers mortgaged their futures and won a title. Period.
Yeah.
MJ, your last things.
I think if Tom Brady makes the Super Bowl, not wins it, makes the Super Bowl, any argument of it was the system he was in needs to go completely out the window. At age 43, he threw for 40 touchdowns. I think he was top 4 or 5 in passing yards. He 11 interceptions, but I think 2 of those games accounted for more than half of those 11 interceptions.
It was basically all against the Saints.
And yeah, and the Patriots looked like absolute garbage. So I don't want to hear it's the system. I think, Belichick might do the genius thing next year and figure out players we've never heard of, like that receiver on Alabama that made 1 catch, and he's like, that's mine. But I really think he's going to go back to being the same Browns guy he was. Yeah. I don't think people realized how good Tom Brady was for that team and that system. And then this year is perfect example. You give Tom Brady weapons, he throws 40 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So I think the argument is done. I think it's over with. I mean, I honestly think you could end it now. They're in the NFC Championship his first year.
Yeah,
but he makes the Super Bowl. I think there's no question. I don't think he has to win it. Just make it.
I agree. My last things last is the Blue Jays have quietly built themselves into the AL East contender this year. The one team that could possibly knock off the Yankees. Since the 2020 trade deadline, they've picked up Robbie Ray, Taijuan Walker, Hyunjin Ryu, like 3 really good names. Nothing too splashy, but 3 really good names. But since then, they've also now added all-star outfielder George Springer, starting pitcher Tyler Chatwood, and the best closer of 2019, Kirby Yates. And now apparently there are rumblings of interest in right-hander Cy Young guy Trevor Bauer and Jake Odorizzi. So these guys who already have, Bo Bichette and Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Kevin Biggio, who are, by the way, 3 kids of 3 former All-Stars. So if that didn't make you feel old, the Blue Jays are building themselves a legit team right now. And no one else seems to be noticing across the league because no one else is making moves like them. So Toronto's looking really, really scary.
You see Boba Fett?
Bo Bichette.
Oh my gosh.
Son of Dante Bichette.
Kev, they're doing everything Philly should be doing.
They're doing everything most teams in the MLB should be doing.
Like,
no, Philly's busy not signing JT Realmuto.
Philadelphia did get Archie Bradley, which was nice, but other than that, I mean, they offered the Philadelphia Phillies, while you're on it, have offered a big contract to JT Realmuto, but he still hasn't signed it, so there might be a broken relationship.
How much should we offer him?
$100 million over, or wait, $190 million. Hold on, I can find it. JT
$17 and a pack of Camel Unfiltered.
I'm sorry.
About 110 million over 5 years.
Dude, I would sign that so fast the paper would catch on fire.
What's crazy is I think he could get a higher salary. He's the best catcher by far in baseball because he can also hit like not a catcher, so he's really a big dual threat. And I think he definitely could command somewhere between $150, $200 million contracts. But I don't know what kind of deal he's looking for. Like Bryce Harper, he signed 13 years for 300 mil?
300.
So.
And they did that because they thought they were going to get Mike Trout. Playing that.
Yeah, Mike Trout, I would have offered that to in
the reason they structured his contract was like that. So in 2 years when Trout was a free agent, they had the room to sign Trout.
Yeah.
And then
when the Angels were like,
here's $500 million.
I was going to say, here is all of our budget for the next God knows how many seasons, and we're giving it to you.
This is enough money to take this. They're Los Angeles. Yeah, Angels.
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Here's enough money to pull Los Angeles out of debt. We're going to give it to you instead.
Dude, it's absolutely. I mean, talking about like how the NHL salaries are so low, baseball without the cap is like insanity what people can get paid.
And Trout's such a winner that he was just like 500 million or having a chance to be not last in our division. I'll just take 500 million. It's fine.
Yeah. he's like, you know what?
I don't
California sun.
Yeah.
I get to play in front of some fun fans and I get $500,000. I'm good.
Wait a minute. The salary cap in the NHL last year was 81.5 million. Okay.
Sounds right.
So I'm not great at math, but does that mean that he could pay 6 teams' salary with his contract?
A little bit.
That's insane.
It is crazy too because
baseball players make bank.
I think Steph made 43. Last year, meaning that he was making half of an NHL rosters.
Chris Paul's making 42 this year.
That is insane. Ben Roethlisberger,
James Harden.
Ben Roethlisberger
makes 40 next year.
He's going to make $40 million.
Well, did you see that extension that was offered to James Harden? He was offered an extension that would have paid him $51 million a year.
Yeah.
Man, he must have really wanted.
I feel like at that point, though, when it's like between 43 and 51, they're just like, I'm just going to live where I want to. Like, it's fine. Like, it's kind of negligible at this point.
I don't know, bro. I think I'd rather live in Houston than Brooklyn. But
and then all the money they make from endorsements now.
Yeah, I was going to say the marketing in Brooklyn was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But all right, boys. Good cast. 3 in a row. We're going to make it 4 next week. Looking forward to it. The Super Bowl episode. Going to be a lot of fun.
Ooh.
Enjoy the championship weekend, and we will see y'all next time.
Goodbye.